guys, welcome back to another episode of Hidden Dragon. If we could get 200 likes, 250 on this episode, that would be amazing. Now enjoy some highlights of what's been going on over the past, 6 months or so. We've had 3 games and there's some big ones in there, so believe me, this is going to be an interesting one. He's got support, and one of them is Bradshaw, who scores. Wales 1, Armenia 0, and that is a massive goal, and we really do need to win this game and get ourselves going. Goes for it. Oh, what a goal. Wales 2, Armenia 0. Gareth Bale with a long-range wonder goal on his 100th appearance for his country. Brilliant stuff. Movsisian steps up, and unbelievable. Movsisian makes it somehow Wales 2, Armenia 1. I don't know how he conceded there. Can he find a pass? Whips it across. Ramsey's in there, and this time it is in the back of the net. Wales 3, Armenia 1, and that's important because we're actually going to be down to 10 men in a minute because Bradshaw's going to have to come off. We're not fully fit right now. Wales 3, Armenia 1. Good result in the end. Disappointing to concede a goal, but hey. Is it across? Ammon's in there for Germany, and it is Wales 0. Germany 1, Mike Ammon with the goal, the youngster. Ball over the top, and Hummels actually hasn't cut that out. George Williams is in here for Wales. George Williams scores. Wales 1, Germany 1. George Williams with yet another goal. He's been so good for this team from that inside forward role. 1-1. Out wide for Allen now. For Bale. Williams is through here. George Williams is in. Saved, and on the rebound, Harry Wilson puts it in. Wales 2, Germany 1. Could this be the win that gives us something incredible to hope for? Kroos now with the ball in. Hummels in acres of space, and it's cleared. And somehow, it's put in the end by Muller. That's a real shame. We should have cleared our lines much better there. Wales 2, Germany 2. Thomas Muller with the goal. Disappointing stuff again. Wilson's cross flipped in, and Ammon somehow got in there, and it is Wales 2, Germany 3. We just cannot quite do it against these big sides. Well, to mop that up. Bale is still in front of him. Williams is through here. George Williams has scored. Oh my days. Wales 3, Germany 3. George Williams has earned us an equaliser out of nowhere. Brilliant stuff. There we go, Wales 3, Germany 3. We rode our luck at times, but my God, what a result. Bale with the strike, on the rebound, Isgrove puts it in. That's the goal we needed. Kazakhstan 0, Wales 1. Lloyd Isgrove with his first ever goal for Wales. Huge goal. To Bradshaw with his back to goal though. Can he find an offshoot? He can. Roberts is in. Roberts has scored another one. He's not even playing up top today, and Tyler Roberts still has goals in him. 2-0 to Wales. He's through here. Ian Gwyn Dunphy puts it in, and that's his first ever goal for Wales. That's why we brought him on. There we go, guys. Kazakhstan 0, Wales 3. A comfortable away win, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. Right, guys, we're back. So today we're going to do ourselves, of course, a question of the day, while I quickly show you how the other groups are shaping up so you can take a little gander at that. So today's question of the day is this: will you ever do another save similar to like the one you did with American Samoa? Yeah, I do have plans to at some point. It would be like, sort of like a mini series if I did it. It would probably be with Bhutan, because I want to call the series Bhutan Clan for obvious reasons. So yeah, there's that, which is something I'm desperate to do basically. I think there must be a way I can show you like World Cup winners from the past as well. There must be previous winners or something. I don't know. There should be, shouldn't there? There usually is in these sort of situations. I don't know how to show you that. Oh, this is qualifying. That'll be why. So, yeah, here's the World Cup. So Italy, Germany, Spain, and all that. So there's some of the other winners of the World Cup, of course. But yeah, basically, so yeah, I want to do one with Bhutan. Basically, that's kind of the way where that one's going. Now, actually, we need to talk about quickly the fact that we actually bloody got a draw against Germany. Things are turning up for us. Pretty damn good at the moment, in fact. It has to be said, we've been brilliant lately. We need to make a load of changes here. Unfortunately, we've had quite a few injuries lately, so this team could be I mean, this is what I mean. Look, George Williams might have to... Tyler Roberts, maybe from the left instead. He's not perfect, but he might be better than that. And surely someone's as good as Bradshaw. Oh, Gwyn Dunphy's picked up a knock. That's disappointing. I would have loved to have put Gwyn Dunphy in here, because he's probably as good as Bradshaw now, which is so disappointing. Jack Hendry, Joe Watt. This is the thing. We've just got so much... yeah, disappointing. We had to rest some players for the friendly, but even so, it still wasn't enough. But there we go. So basically, yeah. Other thing I want to talk about, I did mention this before, is that people, I get comments quite often, you know, say, check out this player, check out that player. I do check them out, but like I said to people, you know, every single player has been scouted that is in the national pool. So any real players were all scouted when I very first started this game. And I do update it every year with the youth intake as well. So if they're good enough, then they'll be in the team. If they're not, they won't be, basically. I'm not just going to put players in because they were good on your save. You know, sometimes players develop differently as well. That's the beautiful thing about FM. It does develop differently. Now, one thing I would say is I've noticed when we played Armenia the first time, we were very good against them. And I think 4-4-2, and this is just like I've noticed over playing FM so far, I think 4-4-2 is probably one of the weakest systems. Now, I don't know if that's whether you play it, but it seems to me that particularly when it's the computer, that when a computer team plays a 4-4-2, I've almost always been able to beat them. Okay, within reason, of course. If they're miles better than me, then sometimes it's still quite difficult, but it's still not going to be the same gap that you would expect. That's why I think we were able to beat Armenia so comfortably, and I think we'll be able to come here and win, personally. Now, we limited them to, oh crap, he says as they very nearly score, so that could have gone horribly wrong for me right there. Osblitz ball in, cleared away, and Ramsey can break it now for Wales. We've got to get the ball up to Bradshaw, who's on his own up top today, as always, but what I mean is I'd much prefer to have Tyler Roberts back post. Roberts brings it down, good touch. Can he pull it back? Hughes, Ramsey puts it in the back of the net, and that is it. Armenia 0, Wales 1. And the thing is, though, guys, unfortunately, we cannot qualify, but we took a point against Germany. And so it does look like it's going to be the case that we're going to be unbeaten at home in the Euro qualifiers in a group which contains Croatia and Germany. And for me, that's progress. Getting a point against Germany in a Euro qualifier and scoring 3 goals in the process, for me, is a huge deal. And I think if we go ham today, you never know, we could even end up top scorers in our qualifying group. Unfortunately, defensively, it was never going to be that good. But just think of those chances that we had. The away game in Zagreb, we could have won that potentially and should have maybe on another day. And then the home game against them, if we hadn't have had James Chester sent off, as Robert smashes in a second one for Wales, they're inside the first 5 minutes. Just think how... we really could have genuinely challenged at the top. So had we won in Zagreb and in the home match, then, well, we'd have 20 points right now. No, sorry, we wouldn't have 20 points. What am I talking about? We'd have 19 points, and we'd actually be with a real chance of qualifying, unfortunately. But even if we'd just won the home match, we'd be in a really good position because of that point that we got against Germany. Because bear in mind, Croatia actually took a point against Germany as well, so they're not the team they were, that's for sure. Certainly not the team they were a few years ago. Back towards when we played them in the Euros the very first time. Bale, back to Hughes, but it's sort of much closer this time. And I think, unfortunately, we've still fallen down the FIFA rankings, despite the good points we've... Oh, dear, that's really bad. 11 minutes in and Armenia are 3-0 down at home already. This is going to turn into an absolute demolition job at this rate. But yeah, unfortunately, we've slipped to 72nd in the world, despite taking points against against Germany and Croatia. We've still fallen because unfortunately when we get beaten by Germany, we lose like 9 places in the world rankings, but then we beat Kazakhstan and we gain none. And if we draw against Germany, we lose ranking. And I don't really know how that's working really. You'd think after a while you'd have to start gaining ranking for getting certain, you know. Obviously I admit that we were perhaps at a slightly elevated rankings, but I don't think 72nd in the world is fair, to be honest. Hughes slips it through and Bradshaw's in there again. That must be offside this time. What a start to this game, by the way. 3-0 up already. And 14 points from our group is a fairly solid amount, really. And I have to say, given that we've not qualified for the World Cup, which is a real shame, I really wanted to qualify for one, but it just hasn't. You know, with the group that we were handed, Croatia was never going to be easy. And as you can see just how well they've done, they are playing against Germany today. I think, as we speak, playing for the top spot in the group, basically. Movsisyan through, cuts inside, and that is great goalkeeping yet again by Carl Darlow. Christ. I might as well just call him Jamie from now on. But yeah, it's a shame because, I don't know, I think that for the next Euro qualifying though, we have to try and win our group. I think that's the only way we've got to do it. But unfortunately, we're going to be even lower down it because of these sodding world rankings. I feel like we're going to end up being 3rd seed in our Euro group this time, and that could cost us dearly if we end up in another group like this. Sure, 3rd place is available, but we'd have to really fight against it. And I think there will be enough room for one more Euro campaign. Whether or not we actually get to the tournament or not, I don't know. It just depends on where things are in terms of timing for me, whether I'll actually be able to do all that. Because obviously, with the game dropping this Friday, in theory, I think it's this Friday, I'll obviously be looking to start Wimbledon either Saturday or Sunday. That being said, Wales will still continue until it sort of runs out of episodes, so to speak. So I'll have episodes till at least Monday. So there will be some double uploads if I can get Wales out, Wimbledon out quick enough, basically. That's how it's going to work. This game has actually been fairly even. I've kind of brushed over that. We're very, very lucky to be winning this game by 3-0. They have got another injury. We have been great, though, and we've actually kept a clean sheet so far. And to be fair, the only games that we've actually not kept clean sheets in was against Croatia and Germany. So I think we've done okay. I think in us going for those games a bit more, we have opened ourselves up a little bit, and that's where all the goals have come from. But still, you know, we're looking decent. I mean, that home performance against Kazakhstan, that we only won 1-0, but we had nearly had 40-odd shots in that game. I think we actually created 13 half chances, which is one of the most I've ever seen. I think Russia created 15 against us that time in a friendly. Bradshaw cuts inside, and his shot is wayward. But yeah, so it's a shame that we've not qualified, but we've still I don't know, I still feel like there's something to build on. These 4-2-3-1 style tactics seem to be the ones to go for this year on FM. I've had the most success when playing this. This is very similar to the tactic I use for Yortobor. Not entirely, I use the sweeper keeper at Yortobor because my keeper at Yortobor is amazing. As well as, there's something else I've got different as well. Yeah, I don't have inside forwards at Yortobor, but I just feel that was one of the things that worked for us, and I want to try and keep it that way. Oh, how did that not go in? But that's the changes I made. It's some of the other opposition instructions are a little bit different as well, and the player instructions, I have a lot more player instructions on the Yortobor save than I do for this Wales one. We're kind of limited on player instructions just to keep things a little bit not too complicated for them, basically, because the last thing we need right now is that. But yeah, so that's the main differences. But at Yortobor, it's been, the tactic I'm using for that is a little bit OP, if I'm honest, because like first season we got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, and this is with a team that just aren't that good. They can't be that good. Jack Hendry, Joel, we're going to have to make some changes, unfortunately. We're winning the game, so I might make a triple sub, actually. Can we get... Is there any youngsters I want to get on? Jada Silva, who has actually declared for us, by the way. You may have noticed that. You may have seen him in some other ones. Lewis Thomas, Adam Matthews, maybe get him on for Jordan Williams. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have one of our plucky young strikers. Unfortunately, Philip Fowler had to pull out of the squad through injury, so I brought in Gwyn Dunphy, and then he's now injured in the squad, which is disappointing, but what can you do? I was kind of hoping to give those guys a try. I think, though, during the next qualifying campaign, it's going to be either Dunphy or Fowler up top for us. It has to be. I want to see what they're capable of. Bale, Bradshaw's flick on, and that must be offside, surely? No, it is 4-0 to Wales here in Yerevan, and that is a really strong showing, frankly. I think this might actually be on for one of our biggest wins in the group. And considering it's not even away at the bottom club, it's away at the second worst team. So that's a decent performance from us, and lots more goals, proving that we've got goals in us. Always nice to see, and Bradshaw, good to see him get one as well. But I must say, standout player for me in this entire campaign, George Williams, superb, but Tyler Robert, up top to this entire campaign, he's been wonderful. Obviously not always been able to play there. And again, look at that from him. He's just such a good player because he can play out wide as well, and that's where we've utilised him today. And look at that, a 9.2 he's on. We've got no more substitutions, unfortunately, so we're just going to have to deal with it. But a 4-0 win away from home is outrageously good against a team like Armenia, who aren't exactly the worst team in the world. They've got people like Henrik Mkhitaryan, so... You know, admittedly, the rest of their squad isn't exactly hugely good, but still, they're a decent enough side. And to go and win here 4-0 is great, because we wouldn't have done that a couple of years ago. Roberts with the strike, and Sakayan makes the big save. So it's going to be Wales 4, Armenia 1, which is fine by me. I might take you through another couple of the leagues, if I can spare the time in a sec, because this episode probably isn't going to be stupid long. So we'll just quickly take a little look at some of those stuff before we get into things. So yeah, very good result on the night, and also not too many fouls, which is nice to see. Top goal scorers in our group, though, with 22 goals in 8 matches. More goals than Germany and Croatia, which is fantastic. And not that many more conceded than Croatia, too. That could have easily gone a different way for us. Very, very pleased with our performance overall. Still, lots of positives to take from it. I still don't think it's going to affect our world ranking, though. We're going to just end up dropping further. That 4-0 win against Armenia there will end up dropping our world ranking. It's just crazy, but that's one of those things that just has to happen. Well, not doesn't have to happen, it's just very frustrating that it does. Is there anything else I can quickly show you in this one? I always forget. I do usually have a list of these things, but I've kind of been going through them. There you go, that's all the other leagues that I've got turned on, basically, so you can have a little gander at it. Just kind of where who is and whatnot. At one point, Fulham were actually winning the Premier League. Seems that one's fallen away a little bit there. Brentford, interestingly, in the top flight. Anyone interesting in League 2 that might have come up from the conference? Nothing stands out as being particularly strange. Great to see Northampton still doing well, though. Things that are going on at that club at the moment, it's just really, really awful. I'd hate to see it end the way it looks like it might do. It really would be terrible. So, in the next episode, guys, it's going to be straight into Euro qualifying again, basically, because that's unfortunately the situation we've left ourselves in. So that could take a little while, but hopefully we'll get put in a big group. And obviously you'll see the draw in the next episode. I don't know quite when the next Nations League, so that might be in there as well. Anyway, if you like what you've seen, and you like the way that we're slowly starting to improve and we just had a really poor group, then please do drop a like on the video. That would mean the world to me. And yeah, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. That would be lovely as well. And I'll see you guys in the next episode for some Euro qualifying goodness and possibly the final tournament that we'll actually do with this save. So hopefully some of these regions can really come good for us. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.